Think we're live
Yes, we
now.
are.
Good morning. Let me get us on camera here correctly. There we go. Well, good morning. Welcome to Midweek Mind Freak. Every week on Wednesday, which is midweek, we're just going to come on here and just chat a little about mindset and thoughts, and we believe the battle in your life always starts up here in your mind. And the question is, are you winning or are you losing that battle? And that's what we're going to talk about. This week, we're going to talk about, are you taking life for granted? You know, in these times that we're living in right now, really is now starting to challenge us on how to think about life. I think as a country and a society, we've been going through life taking things for granted. And although, we don't ever want to see anything negative happen to people, we're kind of thinking this is quite honestly like a reset to society to make us really start to think. So the question I want to say to you guys is, what do you guys see when you look around? Do you really look around with eyes to process what's out there, the beauty of nature, what other people are doing, what they're thinking? We're fortunate enough to go through life in this beautiful state of Arizona.
Sure.
That right now, I don't know about you guys, but I know me and Angela, we go for our daily walks, and some of the conversations we have is, I could see why people think maybe what's going on really isn't a big deal, because it doesn't feel like it's a big deal unless it starts to hit home to you. So we got to get in the mindset of stop taking things for granted. Right down to people fighting over things, quite honestly, trivial things that don't matter, that are affecting relationships. And I guess those are the type of things we want to talk about
Right.
today, right?
Right.
So do you want to start off
I
with?
do. Just a couple comments. First of all, I think gratitude comes from God. He is the giver of all great things, and we have a lot of great things. One of the things that confound me are people's reactions to situations like we're in right now. It seems to be very dichotomous. Isn't that a good word?
I don't
Either
even
people
know what that word means. So
two opposite
I
ends
guess
of the
it was
spectrum.
a good word for us retarded people or illiterate people out there.
He is not. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
And so, you hear the stories of people sharing and helping and having gratitude, which is our focus today. And then you hear stories like what happened to my sister-in-law. She was in the store a couple of weeks ago, and she happened to put two things of paper towels into her cart. And a woman came.
The nerve of her.
Took it out of her cart and shamed her and said, "How dare you take two things of paper towels?" I mean, why are people losing their mind over that? Do you really think two things of paper towel are going to save your life?
Well,
I don't even know what to say.
Well, I mean, I know there's limits for things, but not to lose your mind.
Not to lose your mind.
And I think that's the problem with people. They're just losing their mind right away. So I'm gonna give you a challenge. When you wake up every morning, how do you think? What do you feel? I can tell you, and I've been doing this way before this all started to go down. I get up every morning and I'm just thankful that I'm alive. I'm awake. I'm thankful that I had a nice bed to sleep in.
Right.
That the temperature was great. I mean, gosh, we if you really sit and ponder how blessed we are, it's just mind blowing.
It's
just
ridiculous.
I want to make sure my fan is on at night so I'm comfortable, that I can sleep in peace.
One of the points that we want to make today is you have to practice this stuff. We've been practicing a long time on purpose, and it is worth every second of it to practice gratitude. But you got to be grateful for the small things and the big things and the things that you take for granted on an everyday basis. You know what I did this morning? Because I was like, I don't think you could ever be too grateful. So I don't think you can say, I've arrived. I'm just the most grateful that I'm ever going to be. So I said, how long would it take me to brainstorm, and not just writing stupid stuff, but brainstorm 100 things that I'm grateful for? Like, how long would it take me? So I actually did it. It's right there. Whoop. And it took me 8 minutes.
100 in 8 minutes?
Yeah, it took me 8 minutes because I wasn't going to put chocolate, strawberries, I wasn't going to do. Don't look at
How come I'm not on there?
You're on there. You're second.
Oh, 50 times second.
Right under Jesus. But, the first 30 or so was like that. And then there were seconds where I had to take some time and go, what am I thankful for? And
my buddy Ed. Hey, hello, Ed. How are you, buddy?
There's a lot of people. Don't leave anyone out there.
No, man.
Never mind.
That was my childhood friend. Wow.
So small things, large things. I mean, I put things in here. I did put sleep, by the way, because I've been getting good sleep lately, thank the Lord. So if you practice that and we have conversations all the time. My gosh, can you believe how beautiful this is, or how blessed we are to actually love each other when we're stuck in the house 24/7?
I'm going to try that out.
What are you trying?
I don't know. There we go.
Oh, hi, Courtney.
Look at that. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's some cool
Look,
stuff.
You're famous. How do you get it off?
Yeah, like
hi.
that.
Woo.
There you
That was
go.
cool. Do another one.
No.
Okay. I want
All right. I'm
do
going
one
to bring
more.
my buddy Ed up here.
Where's Ed?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, we're retarded.
Look at that.
Oh, there we go. We just like new toys. There we
Yeah.
go. StreamYard. Very cool. Okay, anyway. So one of the things that you need to practice is think about all of the things that you're grateful for. And making that list shouldn't have taken me 8 minutes. So obviously I'm needing more practice.
So one of the things I could tell you, because we've been on a lot of mastermind calls lately, which is absolutely incredible the way we can connect throughout the country with people and listen into. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about later on today on that mastermind group is who you surround yourself with, which is a big deal. But a lot of people are really scared and nervous. And so if you focus on being grateful for things.
Oh, I thought you were saying if you focus on fear, you're going to jack up your mind.
Yeah. I think Mario Andretti said that if you focus on the wall, you're going to hit the wall. Don't focus on the fear. Focus on the things you're grateful for, what you have. Like I said, we live in a country that I think we take for granted a lot of things.
Too many things.
Too many things.
For sure.
So if you try to change your mindset, guys, remember that's what this is all about, your mindset. You start to have a different feeling. So when I'm on these mastermind groups, some of the people on these groups, I mean, it's almost like you can see the fear in their eyes.
Yeah.
And then they question, they're like, doesn't this bother you? And we have a sense of peace about it, because one of the things I'm going to talk about is that you have to remind yourself everything is finite. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people don't like to talk about that. Me and Angela talk about that all the time. And this is our conversations. Our conversations is no matter what, one day, this all ends. It all ends.
And we're not being all depressing. That's not the point.
No, but when you get that into your mind, because I think too many people walk around like they think they're going to preserve something. You don't preserve anything. You want to live your life till the fullest here, mm-hmm. but we're not in control. And even if this pandemic didn't hit, here's the sad part. There's a lot of people every day that are facing challenges that are showing life is finite, mm-hmm. whether it's them going or somebody in their life. And we're not even talking about necessarily death for that matter. People do lose their jobs all the time. People lose friends that they just don't become friends with. We're going through a tough time right now with agents that have been at our company for a long time. And that, since we made the change, people, which we understand, might say this model don't work for me and we're leaving. But here's the hard part. It's the way they do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's really gracious and it's awesome,
Yeah, and their excuses and Look, it's disheartening that, when people are getting what they want, how much they love you and they care about you. And then you take something away and you almost become the antichrist to them. And it is really disheartening. And to watch people that thought have your back, don't have your back. Don't care at all.
So why is that important? You can't focus on that stuff. You just can't, because around every one of those people who are ungrateful or ungracious are all of these people. Many of you that I'm looking at your names right now are so grateful and so gracious. And wait, are you gonna pop somebody up?
You talk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so.
There we go.
What? Oh, hi.
Kelly's a great. Her and Bill.
Hi.
Love these guys.
This is a cool thing right now, right?
You're supposed to be talking.
I know, but I'm enamored by the tool. So the other thing that I know that we have to talk about that has to do with being grateful for the big things and the small things is enjoying every moment, even some of the ones that don't feel so good, right? And like we'll stop in the middle of the day, which is really cool, and we'll say, "I'll be like, I need a break. I've been staring at this screen too long, or whatever," and we'll just go take a walk. And wow, I mean, do I enjoy that? Absolutely. I wish he'd hold my hand a little longer. He gets so hot and he doesn't want to hold my hand.
I can't help it if I'm hot.
Yeah, you are hot. That is for sure. So, enjoying everything, even the challenging things of trying to overcome, like learning new things. I am so pumped about all of the things that I feel forced to learn over the last couple of weeks. I'm enjoying it. I'm embracing it because that's what God's put in front of us. That's what God has challenged us to accomplish and learn and grow. And you can have two kinds of reactions to that. You can be, oh my gosh, poor me. And I don't know technology and I can't learn.
Nice face.
Thanks. I kind of like this so I can see what I look like. But you know what? Some people are, like that. And some people are embracing it and excited. My gosh, my staff is so excited. They are so excited at the things they're learning that they can bring to you now in this new era of what we're experiencing. And it's all about your mindset. How are you thinking about
It's a choice,
things?
God. What are you guys choosing? Look, there's some things that are not in control. They're not in your control. Stop trying to control things that you can't. Control the things you can. And be positive and embrace it. Another thing I want to talk about is express your emotions. It's amazing how people feel like they gotta keep their emotions inside. Whether you're sad or angry, and here's the thing, it's okay to be angry, righteous anger, even Jesus had righteous anger. Or you could be happy or
disappointed, that's okay.
Or even laughing. You ever go to a comedy thing and then what makes you laugh more is maybe there's somebody in the audience that has this great laugh and you can't help but laugh. Laughter's a great thing, guys. Be vocal about it. Show your emotions. Being sad or crying is not a form of weakness. We were created with emotions. If you think about it, it's one of the characteristics we have as a human being over any other animal on this planet.
I actually wrote that down about laughter and stuff like that.
Is emotions. You don't see, I know, although some people say they see dogs.
My dog has expressions and emotions.
He does.
Yes, he does.
You think he does?
Yes, he does.
No.
Yes, he does.
All right. So express your emotions. That's another thing that you want to do. Share your feelings with other people. Let it out. And one of the cool things that in my marriage, and I challenge anybody who's married out there or has a significant other, share your feelings with your spouse. It's funny. We have these conversations that right now we take for granted our relationship. Our relationship, that's my best friend. So when somebody says, "Hey, you're stuck at home," I'm like, "Wow, that's a great thing for us. I get to hang out with my best friend all day long and brainstorm and work together." But we can't forget that there's relationships out there that are tough, and for them to be cooped up with their spouse or significant other is not a good thing.
Yeah, but don't forget. We always say this: there are two decision makers in whether you have a happy relationship or not. It's you and it's
Yeah.
the other person,
Look,
and you guys can decide something different.
If your life is miserable, change it.
Yeah.
It's the two of yous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the emotional part, it's the communication. It's have a conversation. And it may be tough at first. If you're in a relationship that's been toxic for a while, maybe use this time to change that.
Yes, on the topic of being grateful, believe me, I know when I think of certain people in my life, it would be a humongous challenge to do this, but to focus on make a list of positive things. Maybe there's only 2 on the list at the moment, but if you are constantly looking for the positive, if you're looking for ways to praise, gratitude is so much more than just saying I'm thankful. It's so much more than that. It's looking at the things that are good, or are positive. And the funny thing is, especially in a relationship, we said this many times, is there's this either vicious circle or there's this encouraging, edifying circle. When a woman respects her husband, then eventually he will love her better, and then she will respect him more, and then he will love her better. And that's a very biblical concept. And you gotta be the one that starts that cycle and get out of the vicious cycle. That's part of being grateful too.
Yeah, it's, once again, we understand it's sometimes not easy to break a cycle, but now it's the time. Maybe you look at this and say, you know what, my relationship has been suffering and I want to change it. Make today be that day you change it. Plug into our mindsets every week. One of the biggest things that changed for me in our relationship, well, it was right from the beginning too, though, is we pray over each other. I mean, power of prayer,
That's a form of gratitude.
The Spirit moves, and look, and we're not sitting there going, it's easy all the time. People are around us. They know we have our arguments, and we're intense.
We're intense, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely intense. Our staff is like, they warned the new staff coming in how intense we are.
Funniest story, I'll tell it very quickly, is we did I don't know what we were doing, but he was it was our live, I think, last week. And he was like doing his Chuck thing, right? And so we heard stories.
Was that my Chuck thing?
Yeah. Nicole, I wish Nicole was here because she can do it better. So he was doing his thing, and we got 3 distinct stories. One from Kristen's kid saying, "Why is Chuck yelling at you?" One from, I can't remember who said.
I got to bring Jody up here.
Who is this?
No, it's Kristen. Hey, Kristen. But
who is this?
Jody.
Oh, hi, Jody.
Jody was supposed to come visit us.
And then stupid pandemic. But
one day, Jody.
That's right. And then there was another person who was like, "Why is Chuck so mad?" And then there's Charlotte, our granddaughter, who is holding Danielle's phone, going around the house, going, "Grandpa, Grandpa, Grandpa." So cute. Anyway, that's totally unrelated. Just
what was it? Kristen's kids who said,
"Why is Chuck yelling at you?" So anyway, we're gonna just say we want to leave you with this challenge to. Usually he says challenge. You're gonna pop something in my face again. There we go. Yes, he is passionate. Are you saying who's passionate? Are you saying it like that, Nicole?
And there's Joey on there too.
Hi, Joey. So, you have to practice this gratitude. You can do it. You can form a habit. And it's not just, I am thankful for this and I am thankful for that. It can be in your attitude about what's going on out there. It can even be an attitude about how we're struggling, right? That is a form of gratitude when you focus in the right direction. And that's what we all need to be challenging ourselves to do right now.
So anyway, that wraps up this midweek Mind Freak. Let's get radical about mindset.
Yeah.
Let's use this time to challenge our minds, plug into some positive stuff, whether it be reading, listening to motivational speakers. Use this time to transform your mind.
And send people things that affect you in a positive way. Like Rachel Krill sent me the most amazing reminder of what God says about taking a day off. And I'm thankful to her for sharing that with me. So you guys, if you find something that inspires you, did you see that?
Yeah, her son always thinks I'm yelling at her.
So if something is inspiring you, then you should pass it on to somebody who you feel like either will appreciate it or needs it.
Yeah, so tune in again next week, guys. we're going to keep coming back at you. We're going to share what we're going through, what we see out there. Like I said, we've been blessed because of who we are in the industry. We have people all over the country getting us on masterminds and different type of speaking. Plug in, guys. Look, if you let your mind go idle, it's going to gravitate towards the negative. It absolutely will. The one thing I'm going to leave it off with for you guys is, look, we're all going through this. This is not a you thing. It may feel like a you thing. It may feel like this is all about you and maybe your business is slowed down and you're struggling out there, but we're all going through it. And we need to go through this together and understand, be grateful for the little things you have right now, and it will change your mindset and get you out there. Hope you guys
Stop it yet. I have a shameless plug. I have a shameless plug. Moms in Real Estate's coming back tomorrow at 9:00 with Tina Call from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Wow.
Great lady. So tomorrow at 9:30, look for Moms in Real Estate.
Yeah, you guys have a very blessed day, and stay safe out there and practice safe distancing.